China, Japan and South Korea gathered in Beijing for talks today amid signs that pressure on North Korea to rejoin nuclear disarmament talks could be paying off. Chinese Premier Wen Jiabao is due to brief his Japanese and South Korean counterparts on a recent meeting in Pyongyang where North Korean leader Kim Jong-il said that his country may end its boycott of the talks depending on its negotiations with Washington. The European Union is gearing up to extend controversial anti-dumping duties on Chinese leather shoes, risking a renewed trade war with China. Xinhua news agency reports that Italy and Spain are pushing the European Commission to extend the duties on Chinese shoes, which have been levied since October 2006. The EU slapped on duties of up to 16.5% on imports of Chinese leather shoes in a decision that has split the EU and created friction with China. General Motors has agreed to sell its iconic Hummer brand to Chinese firm Sichuan Tongzhong Heavy Industrial Machinery. The decision follows months of talks between the two parties. The price of the deal has yet to be announced. GM is in the process of selling and winding up a number of brands as it looks to reorganize after emerging from bankruptcy protection in July. Under the terms of the Hummer deal, Tongzhong will take an 80% stake in Hummer, with the remaining 20% stake going to Hong Kong entrepreneur Suolong Duoji. 6 police officers in central China have been sentenced to up to 12 years in prison for torturing and killing a suspect in their care. Prosecutors described how the officers stuffed lit cigarettes into Wang Xinlian's nose and beat him repeatedly after he was detained on suspicion of burglary in Anhui province. 6 police officers involved in the case repeatedly used up to 90 cigarettes to choke Wang. He also had a paper bag put over his head and was beaten, prevented from sleeping and forced to stand for long periods. Wang fell into a coma and died in hospital just one day after being detained. Media mogul Rupert Murdoch is among 300 global media professionals attending the inaugural World Media Summit in Beijing. Murdoch, along with representatives from the BBC, Thomson Reuters and the Associated Press, discussed the news media's role in society. Chinese President Hu Jintao also gave a speech calling for all media to push forward peace and development. The inaugural summit is being organised by China's state-run Xinhua news agency. Taiwan's High Court has upheld its earlier decision to keep former leader Chen Shui-bian in detention after the Supreme Court ordered it to hold a hearing on the matter. The Supreme Court had questioned the High Court's contention 2 weeks ago that Chen posed a flight risk while he appeals his life sentence on graft charges. Chen was convicted last month of embezzling $3.15 million from a special government fund, receiving bribes worth at least $9 million and laundering some of the money through Swiss bank accounts. He has been detained in a suburban Taipei jail since December and is the first former Taiwanese leader to be put on trial. And those are the latest headlines. Now for more stories